Hello everybody, this is Sherry at djsundry.blogspot.com, and today I have a super quick project to do for you. Now, you may have watched my recent video where I made the Denver Bronco clipboards for some of my nephews, and today I'm just going to show you the little kind of a tag type card that I'm going to do, as well as the bag that I'm going to put them in. Now, several months ago I purchased these great big bags at a yard sale, and I also purchased some smaller ones, but my clipboards were just a tad bit too big to tie off the top, so we're just going to go with the bigger one. But I didn't want all this bulk, and so what I did is I decided to put the clipboards in this way and then to cut off my bag. So I measured, and my bag needs to be cut off at oops, better cut off the right end or I'll be in trouble. Cut off at 9 inches. So the very first step that I'm going to do for this bag is I'm going to cut it off. Just throw that piece away, although you could use it for tags or something if you wanted to sew it or tape it or glue it or something. And so this is the bag. Now this is the back side of the bag with the little where the fold comes up, and I don't want that side, so I'm going to turn it over. And I am going to do 2 different stamp pads here. I have the Dusty Durango from Stampin' Up, and I have my Faded Jeans Distress Ink. I'm going to start with the Dusty Durango, and I just have a makeup wedge here, and I'm going to just put it right around the edges. Now, I'll tell you, the Dusty Durango doesn't show up like a true Bronco orange, but it does give that hint of orange, and it would be a closer match to the orange. Boy, I moved the whole table, sorry about that. It would be a closer match to the orange, except for it's going on that craft color of the paper bag. So that's why you're not going to see it quite as much as you would expect to see it. So again, just going all the way around. I'll tell you, this is the most time-consuming part of this whole project. This is such a super easy project. And I have the bags. I have it. I was going to make some type of a birthday card anyway, obviously. So why not take an extra probably 5 minutes or less to do this whole project, and just make it personalized to go with the gift. So now I'm going to do the same with my Faded Jeans. Now this time I'm going to kind of come on the inside of that Dusty Durango, and you can do this however. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. I just wanted you to be able to see both blue, which you can barely see. Again, that craft really kind of softens those colors to where you don't really see a lot of color. It's not like it's going to jump out at you and say blue and orange Bronco colors. It's going to be softer than that. Now you could, if you wanted to have that stark difference, you could maybe just go through, if you wanted to, and you put some paint on it. You know, you have the paint that you use for the clipboard, you could paint it up. Now this one, I didn't do this on my other ones that I made, but that's kind of pretty, just adding that extra touch in there. So then there's one other thing I want to do with the bag, and then the bag's pretty much almost done. Pretty easy, isn't it? Let's take one of these strips. I think I'm going to go with this one here, and because I'm being kind of frugal with it, I will just put it all the way down. I want a little bit of that orange to show at the bottom, so I'm just going to adhere that down. Remember, these are stickers. Now I know I went over them with Mod Podge on the clipboard, but this is just a bag. It's going to get tossed in the garbage, so I'm not going to put a lot of extra time and effort in it, but I still want it to be special. Something, it's a little thing. It's a little thing that can add just that special touch to it. So there we have our bag. Now there will be one more thing I want to do to the bag at the end, and that's going to be cut some holes in it so that I can put my twine. Okay, so there's our bag. I'm just going to set that aside. And now we're going to move on to the card. I took a strip of paper, some of the same paper that I used, or leftover paper, at least close to or similar to the paper that I used for the clipboards. Remember, I was pulling from my scrap stash, and that's exactly what I've done here. I've not cut any new paper. I found a scrap, and I cut it at 3 inches wide by 6 inches long, and I scored it at in the middle. And I already did that just to get rid of the bulky scoreboard. And I scored it at 3 inches, and I'll crease that down, and that gives us a cute little 3 by 3 inch card. Then I took a couple of orange pieces. This one, remember the Bronco sticker? I used that. I'm going to use that on the front of my card. Actually, this one, the way this one fits, I think I'm going to open it up this way, which isn't normally how I open 3 by 3 cards, but that will work. And then this one is going to go on the inside of the card, and this one's about 2.5 inches square, but I need to stamp my sentiment on this one. So I just pulled from my Hampton Art sentiment set. I pulled the one that said happy birthday. Again, I'm going to use my Faded Jeans Distress ink, get it nice and inked up, and I am going to just, I want to go kind of towards the top of my little orange piece, and that's just so that I have room to sign it. That's all. I mean, there's no real important reason. And I am so sorry, I mentioned that that stamp set was from Hero Arts, but it's actually from the TPC studio. And it has been well used, well loved. I paid $2.99 for it on clearance, and trust me, I've gotten my money's worth out of it. That is for sure. Okay, so now I'm going to set the front of the card aside because we're going to finish off the inside first. Super, super simple. And I'm just going to use my good old ATG, and I hope I'm not off screen here. There we go. We'll just adhere that in the middle. Now, I did some orange ones, which I will show you at the end of the video. And I just stamped directly onto the card, so I have a little bit more room to write, but it was going to be too difficult to read on this dark blue. Now I could have done some white embossing or something, but I decided it would be just as easy, and there's still enough room for me to sign who it's from. Okay, so now we're moving to the front. Now, there's one more thing I want to do to this card just to give it a little bit of interest. I have some mandarin twine from the Twinery, which I should have cut off before, because what you can't see down below the camera is where, hanging off my tripod, is where I store my twine. And so anytime I forget to get it done in advance, you will feel that because it will shake. Now, I don't have, I'll be honest, I don't love the orange on the orange, but I don't have any dark blue and white twine. The blue that I have wouldn't match, so we'll go with it. It's a teenage boy. They'll still like it no matter how. If it's the perfect designer color that I would have chosen, they really don't care. And I'm just going to simply tape that down on the back just with regular old piece of Scotch tape. And just put that down. Now it just kind of crosses and goes every kind of catawampus, and that's fine. It just gives that little, to me, these stickers, and I got these are those that I showed in the other video. I picked them up at Joann's, and they're licensed by the NFL, and they're by Perfect Timing Incorporated, and you could go to www.turnerlicensing.com, and maybe that's where you could find them. I found them at Joann's. But to me, there was a lot of white space at the top of that, above the Bronco's head. And so I felt like, well, it needed just that little extra pop of something there. And I have to say, as far as cards go, you can't beat the speed that this one went together. Now, I know you could say, well, sure, you put it all together, or you had all the pieces cut. That's true, I did. So you could add another 1 minute to your time maybe to cut those, maybe 2. Because remember, I knew where the papers were because they were left over from, I had already pulled them out for my last project. So there we go. Go Broncos. Happy birthday. Now I'm going to actually, rather than putting this in the bag with the I'm going to just wipe this. We'll see. Hopefully I'm not going to ruin this here. But I forgot that I had some of that orange on my mat and my sticker picked it up. So I'm not going to put this inside the bag with the gift. I decided I'm going to use it more as a tag, even though it's a little 3x3 mini card. So what I want to do is I want to cut or pop a hole in the top. And I want to make sure that it's far enough in that it won't all fall apart by hanging, and then that way it can hang down just like that. Okay, so then we can put our bag together. Now this is one of the clipboards. You may remember seeing that, and if you missed that video, go back and watch that fun video. And that is just going to slide right inside of my bag, just like so. It's a perfect fit there. Now then I'm going to take, and I need some more holes obviously, and so I think I'll put one. I'm just eyeballing it. Yes, you could really get all elaborate and put some brads in there. You could measure it out and make it all the right size. Again, I'm just going to eyeball it. Cut another piece of my twine here. And actually what I've done is I've got two pieces. I've got one piece that's really super long. I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to double it so I have a little bit more bulk. Whoops. A little bit more bulk here. And then we can put our card right through the top and just tie it. Of course I will sign my card. And then I'll get that all tied. Cut this here so that we have more tails, and then we have it. Not too frilly, but still a special touch to finish off our bag for the boys. So thanks for stopping by today. I hope you've enjoyed this project, and remember to take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day. Bye.